On the news this morning, State Chief Judge Justice Umade grants bail to 13 persons awaiting trial at Onitsha prisons. State government seeks more support from development partners on health sector reforms. Federal government, state government to harmonize basic education certificate examination. European Union, African Union not definite on support for Congo's president-elect Tshisekedi. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Mokoye. 13 persons who have spent between 5 and 6 years awaiting trial at the Onitsha prisons have been granted bail by the Chief Judge of Anambra State, Justice Peter Umade, in exercise of his constitutional powers. Justice Umade was accompanied by other 12 judges to the first quarter of 2019 jail delivery court session, which lasted for more than 7 hours inside St. Maximilian Kolbe Chaplaincy, Onitsha prisons. Ogochukwu Orano has the report of.
The Chief Judge, in a brief address, said the aim of the visit, which he embarks upon every quarter of the year, is to look at cases of persons who have spent a long time behind bars, find out the reason and see what they can do outside the confines of the court. He expressed joy over the number of cases granted bail, which he ascribed to the synergy among the lawyers, magistrates, the police, Directorate of Public Prosecution and prison officials, who were all present at the court session, urging that the development close the gaps noticed in the past.
There are too many places to work on, and we have spread our data so that we can put up with Ewi, we can put up with Akwata, we can put up with Oka. And we can design the leadership approach that will enable us to structure the entire prison system, which is the form of the building of new prisons.
In a reaction, Barrister Emmanuel Nwakeze, controller of prisons in Anambra State, expressed gratitude to Justice Umade for the visit, which according to him will go a long way in decongesting the prison.
I'm very happy and I'm very grateful to the Honorable Chief Judge for making this a reality. You know, this jail delivery will go a long way in decongesting the prison. It is going to cover all the 4 prison facilities in Anambra State.
Other cases treated were that of juvenile delinquents and those who have attained the age of 60 and above, where most of them were asked to approach the regular court for bail. It is on record that the capacity of Onitsha prison is about 326, but currently it has more than 1,000 persons awaiting trial. Ogochukwu Orano for ABS News.
The member representing Njikoka, Juno Kofi and the Onitsha Federal Constituency, Honorable Dozie Nwankwo, has kick-started efforts for his re-election bid with a stakeholders meeting held at Dunukofia Local Government Headquarters, Ubo, with a charge on electorates to vote based on candidates' achievements and antecedents. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwode brings more details.
The presence of grassroots APGA faithful from Dunukofia showed the support the party and Dozie Nwankwo enjoy from the people, to which all testify to the democratic dividends he has brought to the constituency. In his speech, Honorable Nwankwo thanked the people of Dunukofia for their overwhelming support, which necessitated his presence in the campaign train with the stakeholders meeting, pointing that he has used his office maximally to attract projects for the people, initiating life-impacting bills and host of other humanitarian gestures for the people. He emphasized that he will still do more with the continued support of the people, as he will be better positioned to serve them.
I need to work together. Many PGs, many lawyers, clergy, everybody. We need to come together with their ideas, put together to achieve results.
In his remark, the member representing Dunukofia constituency at the State House of Assembly, Honorable Lawrence Ezudu, spoke of the humility Dozie Nwankwo assumes, which has made him serve the people diligently despite the time he lost to litigation, and stated that time has come for the people to give him another overwhelming support.
No, anyone, if be motivated, this year, Dozie has done so well.
The stakeholders meeting featured an interactive session, presentation of award to Honorable Nwankwo by the National Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, as well as goodwill messages. From Dunukofia Local Government Headquarters, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
Non-governmental organizations and development partners have been called upon to help the state in repositioning its health sector. The Executive Secretary, Anambra State Primary Health Care Development Agency, Dr. Chioma Ezenyimolo, made this call while commissioning the renovated Primary Health Care Center, Oboko Ward 1, and Christ Church Health Post, Onitsha, renovated by a non-governmental organization, the Challenge Initiative, TCI. Health correspondent Chibuzo Okoye has the report.
Commissioning the two health facilities on behalf of the state government, Dr. Ezenyimolo thanked them for the wonderful work they are doing in the area of the health sector in the state, especially in the area of family planning, which is their basic area of interest, and described the state government relationship with the TCI as cordial. Dr. Ezenyimolo admonished other non-governmental organizations and development partners in the state to emulate the TCI in uplifting and repositioning the state health sector to meet the international standard, as the Governor Willie Obiano's administration is open to welcome them.
So we are really very grateful, and we are saying a big thank you to TCI. It shows that anything we set our hearts to do, we can achieve it. We welcome other partners in the state. We have quite a number of them, and they are doing their best. People like UNICEF, WHO, and the rest of them, FHI, there are quite a few of them. So we encourage them to toe the line of TCI to help us in this area of renovation of health facilities.
The State Coordinator Family Planning Initiative, Mrs. Stella Ehozo, gave a comprehensive lecture about family planning, various methods and advantages, and charged mothers to key into the system in order to have child spacing, healthy living, sound health, as well as help to prevent overpopulation in the country.
Family is area, community is area, Nigeria. Population Nigeria, population Nigeria.
The Challenge Initiative, TCI, is a non-governmental organization in Nigeria that is supporting family planning implementation with the aim of increasing contraceptive prevalence rate and overall goal of reducing maternal mortality and morbidity, prevent unwanted pregnancies, and equally give technical support to the government so that they can implement high-impact health interventions in Oka. It's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
The Pope John Paul II Major Seminary Oka has held its annual health weekend, where they discussed the health challenges facing today's society. The program, which was held at the seminary's auditorium, is an annual event aimed at sensitizing the people on the best practices towards maintaining a healthy living, and attracted seminarians in their numbers, medical practitioners, priests, students from different medical institutions within the state, and many other participants. A correspondent, Valentine Mbadoga, was there for the ABS. His report is taken from here.
It was a colorful and educative annual health weekend for the seminarians and other participants at the event, as the event featured both academic and entertainment sections with health lectures, drama, cultural dance, music, as well as comedy shows. The rector of the school and the chief host, Very Reverend Father Dr. Benjamin Ewelu, who advised that people should at all times check their body system to help them discover when there are changes for immediate medical attention.
So, to mark out a weekend to discuss our health is very important. I welcome all of you heartily to this occasion.
In their different lecture presentations, Professor Amobi Ilika, represented by Dr. Valentine Ilika, and Prince Ifeji Ugu, highlighted the causes of obesity to be unhealthy lifestyle and wrong dieting, advised that people should engage in sporting activities, practice water therapy, and eat balanced diets to help reduce the chances of having obese people.
Over the years, we also found out that we are moving towards the non-communicable diseases. And these are virtually are majorly used to them due to lifestyle changes. Our diets have changed.
Discover that people from medium income countries or developing countries are prone to having high prevalence of obesity as compared to those in developed countries.
Earlier in his welcome address, the chief infirmarian, Pope John Paul II Major Seminary, Oka, Mr. Pascal Obelenwa, who noted that the objective of the program was to enthrone a healthy society through awareness and enlightening the public on the causes, symptoms, as well as the treatment of most diseases in the society today, especially high cholesterol and oxidative stress in obesity.
But will reach the wider audience outside here through your instrumentality. Indeed, we appreciate you for this. For the good news of a healthy lifestyle deserves to be shared amongst men.
On his part, a special guest of honor, Chief Donatus Okeke, while commending the initiative, called on government at all levels and other professional bodies to join the campaign by organizing a health awareness program where people will receive free counseling to enable them live a better and healthier life. From Pope John Paul Major Seminary, Obono, I am Valentine Mbadoa reporting for ABS News.
Divine Mercy Chapel, erected by Dimobi's family of Agolozibo and Ocha Council area, have been dedicated by the Catholic Bishop of Oka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo. The chapel, which was built in memory of late Mr. Christopher, Mrs. Elizabeth, and Miss Martha Dimobi, was to immortalize them as strong Christians. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye attended the Pontifical High Mass and now reports.
At Dimobi's compound, Aguluzibo, the Catholic Bishop of Oka Diocese, Most Reverend Ezokafo, said that the church came to transform the society in condemning some activities that is inhuman and to do the work of salvation and soul winning. Bishop Ezokafo extolled the Dimobis for keeping to the faith of their parents and sister, stating it's good for all to keep a sign of their faith in their family, and called on others to emulate the family in putting their resources to the service of God.
This is the sign. Even in the house, statue of Our Lady. That's something. I did that and I got it to one. Otherwise, all when I ran here, in the okay, bad, and so I didn't see no meaning that like go for the good, and that's all can I never can I never begin.
The member representing Anosha 2 in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Charles Ezane, and a knight of the church, Sir Mike Omenoa, said Joe Dimobi and siblings have done great work with the erection of the chapel in honor of their late parents and in remembrance of how they were guided by the teachings of Christ, which made them to train and instill Christian morals in their children. The first son of the family, Honorable Joseph Dimobi, and other son of the deceased, Reverend Father Emmanuel Dimobi, based in Australia, disclosed that the chapel came in loving memory of their mom, Elizabeth, father, Christopher, and sister, Martha, and noted that the chapel is a place where they will continue to pray, offer thanks, and praise to God for everything he has done, stating that their mom is instrumental of him being a priest, and at that, they will continue to offer prayers.
Shows or decided to immortalize my mother and our parents because they founded this family in the trust of God. They founded this family in Christ. They founded this family in truth. That is why we decided to immortalize them, because they did a lot for their children. That is why God has blessed us this way.
It is a place where we continue to pray, just to offer thanks and praises to God for everything He continues to do in our life. And also, of course, as we gather there, we pray for everybody, so that through our prayer and intercession, then even that probably that God grant them eternal grace and also give us all the gifts and blessings we need as we journey towards eternity.
The mass was attended by Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, knights and ladies of the church, as well as friends and well-wishers, as dedication of worshiping materials and thanksgiving were the climax of the mass. From Aguluzibo, Anocha Council area, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
If you're just joining us, this is ABS Television News. Up ahead, federal government, state government to harmonize basic education certificate examination, and European Union, African Union not definite on support for Congo's president-elect, Tshisekedi. This and more stories will be coming after the break. Please join us again.
It has come to the knowledge of the Anambra state government that a fast-growing number of political parties and their candidates participating in the 2019 general election boldly claim that Governor Willie Obiano has endorsed them. To make the claim look authentic, many have published in their campaign posters, flyers and banners their pictures with Governor Obiano. Many of the photographs were taken with the governor at public functions, churches, etc., often without the governor knowing about them. Some of these parties and their candidates pledged to Anambra that once they win, they will publicly declare support for Governor Obiano and join or rejoin the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA) as the case may be. Some of the candidates have even forged statements purportedly made by the Anambra State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. C. Dawn Adenoba, supporting their candidatures. The statements often appear in poorly written English. The Anambra state government wishes to state categorically that the claims by the parties and politicians are false, misleading and disingenuous. Governor Obiano endorses only APGA candidates in the forthcoming election. As the APGA national leader and chairman of the APGA Board of Trustees, he cannot endorse candidates contesting on the platforms of other political parties. All in the Anambra should, therefore, disregard the claim by the politicians that Chief Obiano has endorsed them when they are not APGA candidates. These politicians want to use Chief Obiano's immense popularity to hoodwink Anambra state voters and make them vote for candidates other than those of APGA. Though the overwhelming majority of our people are too discerning and sophisticated to fall prey to this trick, it is important to bring to the fore the grand design by people seeking public office by all means to cajole in the Anambra. This trick is nothing less than 419 because the perpetrators want to obtain power through false pretense. For the upfront time, the good people of Anambra State are encouraged to vote only APGA so that the ongoing excellent work in various facets of our existence will continue. Anambra State has now become about the most competitive state in Nigeria and the most peaceful and stable in the country. The Anambra will not tolerate anything which can disrupt the present development trajectory. God bless Anambra State, the light of the nation. Announcer Mr. C. Dawn Adenoba, Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment.
Welcome back to the rest of the news. Federal and state governments are set to take steps towards harmonizing the basic education certificate examination. Mr. Sonny Echono, Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Education, disclosed this yesterday in Lafayette at the annual meeting of registrars and chief executive officers of states and federal capital territory examination bodies. Mr. Echono, who was represented by the Director of Basic Education, Mr. Pinzo James, said the meeting was aimed at harmonizing procedures and standards in the conduct of the examination. He added that the meeting would also build the capacity of the state and FCT examination officers towards achieving harmony. Mr. Echono added that the ministry has the mandate to ensure harmonization in examination order to ensure a generally acceptable standard. And now on business news, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday left the monetary policy rate unchanged at 14%. The CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele announced the decision of the committee at the end of a two-day meeting held at the Apex Bank's headquarters in Abuja. He explained that all the 11 members of the committee that attended the meeting agreed to maintain the current monetary policy stance. He said apart from the MPR, which was retained at 14%, the committee also retained the cash reserves ratio at 22.5%. The European Union and the African Union have said they had taken note of the decision by the Democratic Republic of Congo's Constitutional Court to back disputed President-elect Felix Tshisekedi, signaling they would work with him. Asked about the December 30 election, the EU and the AU said they discussed the outcome at a meeting in Brussels, noting the court's support for Tshisekedi. Officials at a news conference did not explicitly say in public that they recognized him as the winner and declined to congratulate him. Rwanda's Foreign Minister Richard Sezibera, who represented the African Union at a meeting of the two regions' foreign ministers, also said he noted the court's decision. African Union Commissioner for Peace and Security, Smel Shagir, who spoke after Sezibera, said he was ready to work with Tshisekedi and with all Congolese political parties, but declined to go into details. Huddersfield's new manager, Jan Siwet, has promised to do things his own way despite following a similar career path to former Terriers boss David Wagner. Siwet, 36, becomes the Premier League's youngest manager, having previously been in charge of Borussia Dortmund's reserve side. Wagner held the same role as Siwet at Dortmund before he arrived at Huddersfield in November 2015. He left the club by mutual consent last week after guiding Huddersfield into the top flight for the first time in 45 years, before defying all odds to keep them up last season. Siwet takes over with Huddersfield rooted to the foot of the table, 10 points from safety after losing 9 of their last 10 league games, but he insisted Town's survival fight was not a lost cause. And now remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website www.absradiotv.com. Like us at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. The main points of the news once again. State Chief Judge Justice Umade has granted bail to 13 persons awaiting trial at Onitsha prisons. State government is seeking more support from development partners on health sector reforms. Federal government, state government is to harmonize basic education certificate examination, and European Union, African Union is not definite on support for Congo's president-elect Tshisekedi. And that's the news for this morning. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Nonye Wokoye. Good morning.